Hello viewers, welcome to the morning commute to work. And the eagle-eyed of you will notice that I'm not on my NT1100 today. I'm on a CB125F. If you're on a smaller bike, don't ride in the gutter for all the other drivers on the road. If they want to overtake, let them overtake. Give yourself a little bit of space on the left hand side. Because I have noticed that when you're riding a bike such as this, a small bike, car drivers treat you a lot differently. They pull in on you, pull out on you, they beep the horns at you because you're going too slow and all that. But the CB125F is a little bit of fun for the summer. So why are we riding to work, commuting on a CB125F? Well, I've got a nice NT1100 sitting there in the garage doing nothing. Well, I've been considering electric motorbike, and I've been looking at the cost of electric motorbikes, about 3 to 5 grand depending on which one you get. Cheap ones I'm talking about, the newer electric motorbikes I've been looking at. They're a bit like a Vespa shape type bike. You can get 1 or 2 batteries in them, but they are expensive. They're about £3,500 to £4,000. And batteries, if you want a battery, it's about 900 quid. And I was thinking just one way of saving a bit of fuel and a bit more convenience. The range on the battery bikes is very, very small. It ranges from about 35 miles to about 60 odd miles. And then you have to recharge, so you can only go basically to work. You have to take the battery out of the bike and charge it up and then put it back in the bike while you're at work, which is a little bit inconvenient. So I was thinking of other ways of getting a small bike which is economical, and I've come to the conclusion that electric bikes are not really a going concern, I don't think. Leave your opinions down in the comments column, but I haven't seen many bikes around electric. So I thought I'll look around for a cheap bike to commute to work, which is economical. So I do like Hondas, so I was looking around the Honda garages, websites and whatever, and the CB125 caught my eye as being a nice little bike. Gets really good reviews. It ain't the fastest bike for sure. I'm only doing around about 40 mile an hour now because I'm not going to flog it to death. I'll treat it with a bit of respect. So at the moment it's 40 mile an hour. Quite happy with that to get to work. I only work 13 miles away from home, but I'm not going on the motorway today. I'm just going to get it running first before I go on the motorway. I did come back on the motorway to when I picked the bike up, but I was only doing 40 miles an hour on the motorway, and the amount of abuse I got on the way back was quite amazing. Wagons beeping the horn, people riding right up, and I mean really close to your bumper when there's plenty of room to overtake. But I stood my ground, stayed in the centre to right hand side of the lane, and eventually they overtake. So we'll see how drivers treat people on small bikes. and I'll give you a taste of that, because I'm sure I'm going to get some dodgy drivers beeping and things along the way, people riding too close. Now I'm going to put a camera system on the back, the camera system on the front, the same as I have on the NT. I've purchased it and I've started to install that. So yeah, let's get back to the bike. So here we have CB125F, the fuel gauge, speed, time, gear indicator, and your current miles per gallon, which is 166 at the moment. Neutral indicator, engine light, fault light, and it also has the indicators as well. So it's very basic, this bike. No frills, just does the job. And the job is gets you from A to B cheaply and reliably. Now it's a nice sunny day today. Perfect for riding a motorbike. It's a shame we're going to work. We're going to be in a factory all day. So I've ordered panniers for this bike, and also a top box, a Givey top box and pannier set. And as soon as I receive them, I'll be fitting them on. I need something so that when I get to work I can put my crash hat in, and something just to take a few bits to work and back. You can't really do without a top box on a bike, for sure. I can't anyway. I've already put the heated grips on the bike. They're only about 58 quid, I think it was, and it only took about an hour or two to fit. Straightforward job. Put the controller here, and I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, that's right above the reservoir for the brake fluid. It certainly is. And if I want to get into brake fluid reservoir, which is not very often, I'll just take the switch off the controller for the heated grips. I like it there because it's out of the way, and it's not sticking out here like a big block or anything like that on the. And what I've done, the mounting bracket that you get with the heated grips, I've bent it in the right place to get it fitted there, and I've also painted it black as well. Blends in quite nicely. It's not really cold weather at the moment, so it's not really a day to use them, but they're there for the winter when I need them. So the pannier set's on its way, top box is on its way, and I've also got a small rev counter and hour run meter, which I'm going to stick here. You don't need a rev counter on a bike like this, but it's just something to play around with at the end of the day. And it's probably quite useful because it has a run timer on it, so it'll tell you exactly how long the engine's been running. 74 miles we've done, and since I filled it up, and you can see the fuel gauge is still 100%. Now that's your instantaneous fuel that's on there at the moment. So we're doing an average of 165 miles per gallon at the moment, which I'll be quite happy with. You would probably get more if you're on a longer run and you're not flogging it. Why would you buy an electric scooter or a motorbike? You just wouldn't. It doesn't make economical sense. You have to be careful pulling in onto a motorway. Now if I was on my NT, I would have the power just to nip into whatever gap I wanted. But with this bike, you have to let the traffic go and jump in where you can. I have no extra power to accelerate into a gap, so I have to drop behind a car. or a van or a lorry or whatever. Which is alright. I'm quite comfortable on the motorway with any size motorbike. Could ride this bike anywhere, and I might even do that. This summer I might take it up to Newcastle. Be a nice long ride on the motorway. Try and find a few non-motorway roads on the way as well. Switch it up a bit. The only thing, I'll have to leave plenty of time, because doing 50 miles an hour probably take me double the time it normally takes me to get where I'm going. But I think it would be a fun ride. Must do that one day. One thing you don't have to worry about with the CB125F is speeding. You very rarely get above the speeds on the roads that I go on anyway, 50 miles an hour. It really is a smooth engine, this, I can tell you that. Nice and smooth. Ticks over nicely. Starts instantly on the press of a button. Let's do a bit of filtering, eh? There you go, that's his first bit of filtering it's done. It feels very, very narrow. I feel I could get through anything with this. The only thing that's going to stop this bike is a roadblock.